All right, let's clear this up right away. This is not a sponsored video, but let's be real. If Biohabitat wants to invite me back next time on the house, I'd be more than happy to accept. And while we're at it, any other luxury spa hotels out there looking for a brutally honest yet charming review, my email is wide open. Now let me introduce myself. I'm Matt and this is Places to Go. On this channel, we explore destinations around the world, from hidden gems to headline-worthy spots, and we tell you what it's really like to be there. No sugarcoating, no over-the-top influence or hype, just straight talk from someone who loves to travel, loves good food, and loves finding places worth your time. And today's place, this isn't your run-of-the-mill hotel. Biohabitat is like luxury cabins crossed with nature lodges, glass and wood sanctuaries tucked into the forest, complete with panoramic views, spa treatments, fine dining, and yes, plenty of wine. I only stayed one night, but my experience here, easily a 15 out of a 10. This might sound like an advertisement to you, but I paid full price to stay at Biohabitat Hotel here in Colombia's coffee region. This was originally going to be included in a video about the entire area as just an option, a blip in my video. But I enjoyed this place so much and felt the value was so good for what it offered that I would be doing an injustice to my viewers if I didn't share this property. So grab your coffee or maybe a glass of wine and let's dive into what makes Biohabitat one of the most unique places to stay in Colombia. If you're coming from Bogota, you've got options. Flights into Armenia's smaller airport are as low as $122 round trip with a check bag or $139 with a carry-on on Wingo or Latam. From there, it's about a 40 to 45 minute ride, and Uber runs about 20 bucks. Taxis are similar, just confirm the price before you hop in. And you can even book a taxi through the Uber app for peace of mind. If you'd rather fly into Pereira's bigger airport, flights are even cheaper, as low as $104 with a check bag or only $57 with a carry-on on JetSmart or Avianca. The ride to Biohabitat from Pereira is longer, about 50 to 60 minutes, and costs around $37. Now, if you're adventurous, there's the bus.
So, Rapido to Lima was able to get me 2 tickets.
From Bogota's Terminal Salitre, you can ride down for about $17.50 or 70,000 pesos, straight to Armenia or Circassia. But heads up, it's a 7-hour ride, winding through mountain switchbacks. The upside, once you arrive, an Uber from Armenia is only $7.50, and from Circassia, it's actually less than $1. In fact, most bus drivers will happily let you off right at the highway turnoff for Biohabitat. And from there, it's just a 5-minute walk up the hill. The moment you step onto the property, it's clear. This is not your average hotel. You're not checking into some concrete tower with neon lobby lighting. Instead, Biohabitat feels like you're entering a private nature reserve where modern design has been carefully dropped into the middle of the forest. The architecture is minimalist but warm. Glass, wood, stone, all surrounded by nothing but greenery and birdsong. You don't feel like a guest in a hotel. You feel like nature has let you borrow the keys for the night. Check-in is at 3 p.m. However, I arrived early, like noon. I wasn't looking to get into my room early. I'm a foodie and I'd already looked at their restaurant menu online a few days earlier, and I figured they could hold my bags while I could have lunch there. Fernando greeted me immediately and put my luggage in the back of a Kawasaki mule and drove me up to the restaurant. However, after only 5 or 10 minutes inside, he let me know that my room was ready and took me there and showed me where everything was and how to use the electronic blinds for the windows. I'll share more about the room in just a minute. He then drove me back to the restaurant. Now let's talk about one of Biohabitat's crown jewels, Basto Resto Bar. Calling it a restaurant feels almost unfair. This is more like a hybrid of a fine dining space, a lounge, and an architectural statement. Right next to the dining area, you'll find an infinity pool that's really more for view than swimming. It's only about a foot deep, maybe 25 centimeters. At the far end, there is a deeper jacuzzi-style spot where you can sit and soak. though I'm not sure if it heats up. What really struck me about Basto is the way they've set up the environment. You've got cozy sofas, chases, and shaded chairs with umbrellas outside. Indoor, there's plenty of dining space too. They even have a DJ set up outside, so depending on the evening, this place can shift from serene to social pretty quickly. It's designed to be both a hangout and a destination. You have no obligation to come in and eat. You can simply grab one of the outdoor seats and take in the views without ever ordering anything. So now let's talk food. Breakfast here isn't your standard hotel buffet with cold eggs and questionable sausages. It feels like you're in a proper breakfast restaurant, and it's included with your stay. You can order things like arepa rellena, stuffed with smoked beef, avocado, queso cappuccino, and ají. A breakfast burger with house-made bread, creamy eggs, and toasted bacon. Or get adventurous with waffles de pan de bono, topped with serrano ham and a fried egg. They've got healthier options too, like avocado toast, which is what I did, that has poached eggs, or you can get hummus if you don't like eggs. Who doesn't like eggs? And that's just breakfast. For the rest of the day, their menu hits all the bases. Sharing plates, salads, bowls, pizzas, sandwiches, main courses, and desserts. Most starters are around 29,000 pesos, or about $7.25. Pizzas run about $9 to $10, sandwiches are around $8 to $10, and desserts are only about $4. Even steak and seafood dishes top out at around $16 to $18. Prices you'd never see at a fine dining resort restaurant in the US or Canada. Honestly, the value is outstanding. And of course, what's a lounge without drinks? Most cocktails are in the $10 range, and bottles of wine start around $40, topping out at around $70 unless you go high end. For a setting like this, with panoramic views of the forest and the Andes, and the city views of Armenia in the distance, those are very reasonable prices. Basto isn't just about where you eat at Biohabitat, it's where you live. It's the kind of place you could spend all afternoon ordering a bottle of wine, watching the sunset, and forgetting that time even exists. And for me, that's the definition of a perfect travel experience. Let's talk about the rooms, or as Biohabitat calls them, habitats. And honestly, that word fits. These aren't just hotel rooms with four walls and a door. They're immersive little sanctuaries tucked into the mountain and forest, each designed to make you feel like you're living in nature rather than just looking at it. And they have black metal frames, floor-to-ceiling windows, and plenty of wood and stone to give it an incredible exotic natural vibe. I stayed in what's called the Aviary's Master. Imagine a glass cube suspended in the forest, surrounded by birdsong from the moment you wake up. It's about 48 square meters, so plenty of space, with a king bed, a balcony, and yes, an outdoor bathtub overlooking the trees. The bathroom has full forest views, which means brushing your teeth feels like you're just in a jungle documentary. For me, this was a 15 out of 10. I cannot imagine giving it anything less. Now let's talk numbers, because Biohabitat is not a budget hotel, but if you know how to book, you can stretch your money further than you might expect. The strategy is simple. Stay Sunday through Thursday night and check out on Friday at noon. That way you get 5 full nights at the weekday rate, and you skip the jump in price that hits Friday and Saturday nights. For the room I stayed in, that came to about $531 plus $101 in taxes if you were to stay for those 5 nights. That's 5 nights in one of the most unique eco-luxury hotels in Colombia for just over $630 total. Do the math on that and it comes out to $126 per night, which is probably less than most Holiday Inn Expresses. Now I know at first glance that might feel steep, especially if you're comparing it to a standard hotel in Armenia or even Medellin. But here's the catch. You're not just paying for a bed and breakfast. That price covered breakfast and not just toast and coffee. We're talking chef-level dishes, full access to everything on the property, the lounge, the pool, the jacuzzi, the nature trails, yoga classes, all of it. So when you add it up, it starts to look more like a boutique all-inclusive than a typical hotel. In the US or Canada, you could easily pay 5 times as much for half the experience. My advice, if you can swing the weekday stay, do it. You'll get the full Biohabitat experience for the best price. and you'll walk away feeling like you got more than your money's worth. Things like massages, facials, and treatments have additional costs, as you would expect. I booked a massage during my stay, which was not quite the cost of a massage in the US, and of course you get full access to the lounge, the pool areas, the nature trails, and the yoga classes for free, whether or not you book spa treatments. Biohabitat isn't just a place to sleep. The facilities here are designed to keep you on property because honestly, once you arrive, you don't want to leave. Remember that shallow infinity pool next to the restaurant? That one's more for show than swimming, though it's perfect for lounging and soaking in the view. At the spa though, you'll find the real jacuzzi, hot, bubbling, and next to another infinity pool that you can swim in, all surrounded by greenery. It's one of those spots where time just kind of disappears. And you'll find another bar here in case you want a snack or a beverage, whether it's a cocktail, glass of wine, or something without alcohol. Biohabitat also has its own nature trails winding through the property. Guests have spotted toucans and other exotic birds right on the paths. It's not a hardcore hike, but it's a great way to stretch your legs and feel like you're inside Colombia's lush coffee region instead of just looking at it through a window. And then there's the atmosphere. During the day, it's serene. Birds chirping, sunlight filtering through the trees. At night, Basto Resto Bar transforms with music, cocktails, and that infinity pool reflecting the lights. Whether you want a quiet retreat or a social evening, the space adapts. And that balance is what makes it feel more like a lifestyle destination than just a hotel. Biohabitat is designed to be an experience. You don't just stay here, you live here, at least for a little while. As much as Biohabitat makes you want to stay put, the surrounding area has some incredible day trip options that are well worth it, giving you plenty of other things to do. First up, the Santa Rosa de Cabal Thermals. About an hour and a half away, these hot springs are tucked into the mountains with cascading waterfalls that look straight out of a fantasy movie. Depending on the season, a day pass will run you between $12.50 and $24. It's the perfect spot to unwind if you want a change of scenery from the Biohabitat Spa. About 45 to 50 minutes away, you'll find Parque del Café, Colombia's famous coffee theme park. It's part amusement park, part cultural experience, and yes, you can drink your way through some of the best coffee tastings in the country. Closer to home, just 25 to 30 minutes away, you've got Salento and Finlandia. These towns are iconic for coffee tours, colorful colonial architecture, and artisan shops. Salento in particular is the gateway to the Cocora Valley, home to the tallest palm trees in the world. And if you need a city fix, Armenia is only 25 to 30 minutes away, and Pereira about 45 to 50 minutes. Both have bustling markets, restaurants, and nightlife if you want to balance the tranquility of Biohabitat with some urban energy. So whether you're soaking in hot springs, exploring coffee towns, or chasing roller coasters at Parque del Café, Biohabitat puts you right in the middle of Colombia's coffee region, with adventure in every direction. So here's the bottom line. Biohabitat is not cheap, but it's not trying to be. But it's really not expensive either. It's a luxury eco hotel designed to make you feel immersed in Colombia's coffee region without sacrificing comfort. For me, it was worth every peso. From the architecture and the atmosphere to the staff who went above and beyond. This place isn't just a hotel, it's an experience. And while I only stayed one night, I'd happily come back for a longer stay, especially during the weekdays sweet spot when you get the best rates. And I have to share, my reservation got messed up. I had the wrong day booked apparently. This definitely wasn't Biohabitat's fault. It probably wasn't Booking.com's either. It almost certainly was my fault. I ended up booking the wrong day. They reached out to me to find out when I was arriving, and I told them around 3 p.m., thinking 3 p.m. tomorrow. And they replied, "Are you sure you don't mean 3 a.m.? Because your reservation is for today and 3 p.m. had already passed." I frantically looked at my Booking.com app and they were correct. You need to know that they didn't need to help me out here. It wasn't their fault. They could have said sorry and thanks for the money, but they moved my booking to the next day. That's amazing. If you're planning a trip to Colombia and want something unforgettable, Biohabitat should be high on your list. I give it a 15 out of 10, and I don't say that lightly. Thanks for joining me on this tour of Biohabitat. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future adventures. And if you're a traveler, expat, or digital nomad, be sure to check out our free newsletter and digital magazine, The Passport. It's packed with tips on destinations, visas, cost of living, and real stories from around the world. The link is in the description below. I'm Matt, this is Places to Go, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.